Hey, welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are ready for the weekend. It is a beautiful Friday as Bitcoin is getting a nice little pump here. And I'm going to jump right into the price action. And I wanted to follow up on last week's video where we did say we're going to front run this weekly signal. And what was that? As soon as we took out the high of last week, we were expecting a move back up to about 43,500, or at least to that 9 exponential. And it looks like that's working out so far so good. And we were saying, look, this is more likely to be a February bounce month ahead of the taper in March and interest rate hikes. A lot of crazy stuff happened this week. You know, Amazon just posted some really good gains. Meta just got slammed. What else kind of happened? I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but you can see traditional markets are getting a bit of a bounce here. And yep, well, we got to tick, just like Bitcoin, right? We got to tick above this last week's high, and we made it all the way up to the 9 exponential. Then you take a look at the that's the Dow Jones here, and the Dow Jones is still making higher highs and higher lows, and the S&P here is still making higher highs and higher lows, and I would expect the S&P to go ahead and bust on through and make some new all-time highs probably this month, if anything. Another thing on the table on the board for us here is the dollar. Dixie is getting slammed back down below 95 bucks, so that's good. When dollar down, Bitcoin and stocks up. Typically, that's how it works. And what else did I want to point out here? Here, let's look at Bitcoin dominance shooting up here. So Bitcoin dominance did kind of reach our macro low level at about 39 percentile. And now it's marching its way onwards and upwards. And I would expect this guy to head up to 43.40 based on the daily time frame. And that means, you know, altcoins don't fare too well as Bitcoin dominance goes up, at least in their Satoshi pairing, not necessarily their dollar pairing. And let's jump right into price action and just kind of look at the last 48 hours on Bitcoin's price action. And what do we have? Let's throw it up on a 4-hour. And we did say, really, as long as Bitcoin did hold 36,000 bucks, we were in general looking for Bitcoin to make its way onwards and upwards, and we were waiting for a confirmation with a 4-hour closure above 39,150, and we got that, and that's given us our first move up to 41,000 with a small pullback from there. And this is seen very nicely on the Fibonacci retracement here. So you head up to the 1618, that's your first sell, comes back down typically for a little sell, and then you make it up to the 2618, and that's coming in right at about 43,000. So if we can get a daily closure back above 44,300, I'll look for a quick move up to this guy, the 3618. But ultimately, I would expect it does head up towards around 47, somewhere in that range. And that could happen over the next few weeks, maybe mid-February, if this guy wants to keep going onwards and upwards. And where would I invalidate this move? I'd say really on a 4-hour closure back below here at 36,300. If you really want to look for downside targets, I'd say on a daily time frame, daily anywhere below 34,000 bucks right there, 34,000. Use a nice even round number. And so one of the big reasons yesterday or 2 days ago, I was not looking for this thing to break down, you know, like on a major level, is that open interest, right? Open interest we have been talking about for some time here. We did say, look, open interest typically wants to get above 13 billion before we see a 25 to 30% correction. Open interest got up to 11 billion, so not quite there. That was 14 billion, 13 billion. And as open interest comes down, typically the price will come down. That's just, and vice versa. As open interest goes up, typically price goes up. But a real easy way to identify this guy as a bear trap yesterday was this here. So this, being a bear trap, because we did get our first lower low on the 4-hour time frame. And so how do we identify that as a bear trap? Well, if you go wick to wick with our fib tool, once you start closing above the 618 fib, that is when you close back above it, that is your classic bear trap scenario. So bear trap initiated and bulls are back in control, along with NASDAQ kind of heading on higher, S&P heading higher, dollar coming down. So I do like this for a general continuation up to around 43 to 44,000 over the next week or two. And yep. And we did say last week, look, if we do get a break above 39,000, the first stop would be 41,000. And we got that move almost up 49.19. And then, next stop is going to be the 2618, which is coming in right there. So if you want to see that a little more clearly, frankly, I don't know how this tool works so well for catching the upside targets and downside targets, but that's how it works. Anyways, let's take a look at some of our momentum indicators just to check this out. So 4-hour momentum is just shooting up to the moon here. 1 hour. Let's start with the 1 hour. So 1 hour is kind of losing some momentum, about to cross down, and any kind of a closure back down, around 39,150 would be totally fine to retest the range high. Okay, let's take a look at the 2 hour. So 2 hours crossed up, flippy floppy there. We just looked at the 4 hour. The 12 hour is going to cross up here, and I would say it does cross up with any kind of a closure back above 42,300. And 2 hour, and then sorry, that's the 12 hour. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. Daily is crossed up, and we did say 2 days ago that as long as Bitcoin closed above 36,200 and stayed above 36,200, we would remain with daily momentum to the upside. And I do like that for that continuation play up to about 43,125 on the daily. And then let's move on to the 2 day. 2 days freshly getting up there, and 3 day crossing up, 5 day crossing up, weekly still down. And if we can get the weekly to cross back up and get the weekly momentum on our side, I would say that would be good for the Boolas. Okay. Now, also, what did I want to take a look at is the BBWP on the daily here, still contracting here. And what I would say is that if we can't get back above 44,000 on the daily time frame, and BBWP, our volatility indicator, wants to turn back up, that's going to be a very good indicator we get a move back to the bottom side of the range at 34,000. Now, as long as that area holds, I am generally, okay with that price action. I don't want to see it come back down there, actually. However, if the daily does want to break, let's go ahead and use that fib retracement tool again, and we will take a look here. So let's say on a bearish retracement, we go like this, right? Let's say we get up to our green 55 and we come back down. And again, this is all, not financial advice, right? But yeah, that first stop is right in line with our blue box territory, the blue box of peace and prosperity and death and despair. Why would it be peace and prosperity? Well, if we get a big bounce off that thing, that would look very nice for some peace and prosperity. And death and despair, any kind of a closure below this guy here at 29,000. And I'm looking for this thing to absolutely get slacked. And let's see if that is down at that $25,000 target. No, that's below 25,000. So let's not even talk about that. I really don't think we'll get any kind of monthly closure back below the green 55, coming in at 23,000, somewhere between 23 and 24,000. That will be moving up over time. What else do we want to look at on our indicators here? The BBWP. So volatility is expanding on the 4 hour. And as we break the range to the upside, again, give me the bias that we are probably going to head up towards that $43,000 to $44,000 range. we've got all the things on our side. Trend, momentum, and volatility on the 4-hour. So momentum to the upside, volatility cranking up to the upside, and then we've got the RSI back in the bullish control zone. So, and there are no divergences playing out at the moment here, except for here. Yes. So we'll get our first drive of bearish divergence there. Usually you want to see 2 to 3 drives before we get a major correction to the downside. Okay, that's going to wrap up my thoughts on Bitcoin for today. Let's look for onwards and upwards, and we'll come back to it on Monday and check in with you guys. Have a blessed and wonderful weekend. By the way, if you like and subscribe to the channel, at the end of the month, we are going to draw for an Oculus Quest 2. I know we gave away some Bitcoin this week. So congratulations to the people that won some Bitcoin. We'll make sure that gets in your hands. And yeah, wishing you all a wonderful, blessed weekend. Take care.